The other thing that was a big talking point coming into the tournament was that the US players were getting paid to play.
Yeah.
There was, I think Luke Donald said in his, even in his speech at the opening ceremony,
Oh, he made it a thing.
yeah. We're not here to make money. We're here to make history. And I think the overwhelming sentiment from everyone I've spoken to who was a European fan was that they didn't like the fact that American players were getting paid, and they really liked the fact that the European players had been offered it and said,
Yeah.
that's not why we're here.
Yeah. I think it just makes a statement. And, golf at the level that these guys play, the monetary rewards are huge. And the best way I can describe it, and the way I've always thought about this, is if you're lucky enough to be one of the 12 players on each team who make the final selection, who manage to play in this event, you will have had an incredible 2 years to get into that team.
You're gazillionaire.
If you're an automatic selection for the Ryder Cup, especially on the US side, but the European side as well, because most of the players there play on the PGA Tour. There is a European Tour aspect of this, which we might go into in a bit, but also we've got Live. These guys are multi-millionaires many times over. Some of these players are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And that is amazing for them. It's incredible.
Well done, you worked hard to get there.
Yeah, the professional golfers, they have a skill that no one else can do, and they're in a sport which pays them incredibly well for that skill, and it's amazing. If you get to the Ryder Cup, and you get paid $500,000, which the American players got, and they donate 300 of that to charity, I think.
I think so, yeah.
So they walk away with 200K. A few of the players like Bryson has said he'll donate all of it. It's not an amount of money which is going to make a lot of difference to these guys, if any. And all it does is it turns the majority of golfers who would, in their minds, give anything to play in this event. It's the same as when footballers have complaints about their lives. Even if they're justified, the majority of people will turn around and say, stop moaning. You're playing football for a living, something that we would dream about doing. The honor of running out on your home team and wearing that shirt, in a lot of people's mind, they wouldn't have to be paid for that. It would be glorious. Imagine running out, representing your country, representing England at Wembley, for example. Oh my God, it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to pay me for that. That's
I would probably pay to do
it. It's the honor of a lifetime. And a lot of people feel that way about the Ryder Cup. It's one of the events within our sport which remains pure. Now, there's a lot of caveats to that, as we might get into, but from a playing perspective, you represent your country, you represent the flag, and you don't have to be paid for that honor. It's not like these players are losing any money from being there. And aside from that, if you're on a winning Ryder Cup team or you're a Ryder Cup captain, the monetary benefits that you receive before and after the event are huge, from extra sponsorship, exposure, and all the rest of it. I think there's actually a study on this somewhere. You might be able to Google it, about the monetary value of being a Ryder Cup player. It's massive. I think someone who worked it out, I seem to remember reading an article. So it just gave the Europeans, and it gave European fans, and it gave disgruntled American fans just a stick to beat the American team with.
Yeah.
It seemed like such an own goal, and I could understand from playing devil advocate with myself. I can understand from the aspect of, if you're a player, say this event raises an incredible amount of money and revenue for a lot of different sources. Is it fair that us, as the star attractions of this event, the reason why people are watching, don't actually get some of that money? And I can understand that, but at the same time, just for 1 week, every 2 years for the Ryder Cup, just play for the passion and the pride of representing your country. Give us this. Give the fans this moment of pure sporting theatre without having money to kind of tarnish it.
Yeah, it's the purity of that event is now kind of tarnished definitely for the US team, because when you're going down, obviously they care and obviously they want to win, but when you lose all 4 sessions on the first 2 days, suddenly you're like, are you actually, do you actually,
You value for money?
yeah, like you're getting paid 200, like you're getting paid £500,000 to be here,
Yeah.
and you clearly didn't warm up, you clearly didn't prepare to play this golf course in the way that the European team did, like. It felt a little bit like they got their money and went, oh great, now now we've got to play this tournament, but at least we got paid.
Yeah, for me, the money aspect of it was almost just it's like, we're playing in this event, and if we qualify for the Ryder Cup from an American side of point, we want it to be recognised that we are contributing to everybody else making this money around us. We just want to be recognised for that. That's almost what it felt like.
Yeah, we could just say thanks.
Yeah, because it's just from the money side of things. A lot of it depends on who owns the kind of rights to the team. So I think most people know, but if you don't know, it's the PGA of America that have the rights to the Ryder Cup Team USA, and it's the European Tour who have the rights to Team Europe. And the amount of money made from the Ryder Cup really does help support the European Tour. I think without it, European Tour probably wouldn't exist. So.
Yeah, so the and I think this is down to Shane Ryan, who wrote the book The Cup They Couldn't Lose. He did this great research into the European Tour. In a year when there isn't a Ryder Cup, they make a loss, and in a year when there is a Ryder Cup, they make a profit.
Yeah.
So they need the money from the Ryder Cup to continue existing. The other confusion is that the PGA Tour and the PGA of America are 2 completely separate entities.
Yeah.
Obviously, they work together, but the PGA of America is similar to the English PGA. You know, the people who Pete pays to be a member of. You know, you become a professional golfer by doing your qualifications, and then you can go out. Like, that's the same thing. Pete is a member of the British version of the PGA of America. So it's. Maybe I'll make a diagram. try and explain this to you. But yeah, but it is.
But it's slightly complicated on that side of things. But yeah, it's a thing that didn't need to happen as far as the players getting paid. You know, the system is not perfect, but it's also not broken.